Hey, good Tuesday evening to you. No, good Thursday evening to you. I knew it was a T1. How is everybody? Welcome to December 1st, everyone. We are now in the we are in the lineup. We are headed towards Christmas, and I'm excited about it. Guys, Christmas is my favorite holiday. I know it's very cool and edgy to say, no, it's Halloween, man. Bah humbug, screw Christmas. Not me, man. I love Christmas. Hello, Dungeon Minister. Hello, Kanik, Davian, Tommy Dye, Robert Phillips. So, an all expenses paid vacation, no bill. Oh. But anyway, so we have some fun stuff to get to this evening. I have a few, I have Christmas lights up behind me, but I don't precisely have a lot of decorations up yet. I couldn't get to them all today, but I did find my lights. I do have my Christmas lights up. They just don't show up really well. But anyway, I hope you're all doing fantastic. Now, I was not planning to do an advent calendar this year for Christmas, but lo and behold, my darling wife, she had other designs, other plans for something cool to show you guys. And what she got me was from a company called, I don't know if this is Do Dragao Gaming. I'm going to show this. We're going to put this up on Still Store. Give us a rocket number 9, Cambot. So there's the card that came with it. Enhancing tabletop gaming since 2020. And there's their links. They're at do_Dragao_gaming. On Insta, they have an Etsy shop. It's their name. The back of the card is very cool too. I don't know if can you guys see that? It's like a hollow reflective dragon, which is pretty cool. And no, it was not 25 business cards from them. The Advent calendar this year is, brace yourself, boys and girls, 25 gaming dice. That's right. 25 gaming dice, and that is reflecting horribly. Santa is closer with each moment. And I'm just going to go ahead and read this off the back. This says, count down days until Christmas with our Advent dice calendar. Open 24 slots of the colorful cardboard box and behold, inside each of them, there's an amazing dice created by Q Workshop. Discover astonishing designs of intricate engravings and beautiful color themes. Dive into the magnificent world of dice. Make yourself a little gift every day before Christmas Eve. This edition includes a new Christmas dice set of 8 pieces with additional modern D4 in a new design and new exclusive color theme. A very special D2 in a form of a metal coin, masterfully designed especially for this calendar. I'm excited to see that one. Hey, Wookie. 15 random dice selected from the range of our most popular and newest designs in various color types and color themes. Enter the magical world of Advent Dice Christmas. Count down the days until Christmas with Q Workshop. And they have, this is the dice set that the quote unquote normal dice set that you get there. And as you can see, each one of the dice has antlers on it. Very sweet, very nice. So we're going to go ahead and crack this open, and we're going to see what our first dice set is. Now, initial impressions, I don't really intend this to be much of a product review. It's a kind of a flimsy box, but it's okay. It's not bad. I will probably keep this. I don't know that I'll put it up. It's more of a Christmas decoration, but the dice will stay out. I am a little disappointed by their packaging. This just came in a thin shipping envelope with no padding or protection, and the end got kind of bashed there. So that makes it, so it's kind of beaten up. I mean, I'm sure the dice are okay, but, And so anyway, let's go ahead and let's open day 1 of our dice calendar, and let's see what this is. And we have looks like kind of a rancor, or no, a wampa type creature there. It's all in good fun. It's all in good. I'm not one of those, I have to flip Christmas upside down and it's ugly and dark and dreary and, oh, it's not Santa, it's Cthulhu, and, oh, Krampus is going to kill everybody. No, I don't. I don't do that. Christmas is my favorite holiday. I love it. I don't do bah humbug. Let me tell you guys something, just on the serious tip. I got an honest to God Christmas miracle one year, not too long ago. Some friends did something truly miraculous, and I will never forget them for that. So thank you so much to them for doing that. Always, that will be a great memory. So let's see. This is just a sheet of plastic, no fun stickers or anything on it. It stuck to me. So there's some turtle murder right there. I'll just go ahead and put that in the recycling. And let's see. So we are going, here is slot number 1. And we'll punch out number 1 right there and see what dice we have. What dice is this in your hand? Come on. I want to do this without damage. Oh, I see. It's got a little flap. It's got a little flap there. I think I can. Okay. So there we go. All right. Pull up the tab. Come on. I don't want you. All right. I'm trying not to ruin the box by opening this up. So day 1, probably appropriate. Oh, there's something on the back. It says, this time you will go with a plan. Roll for tactics. So we have a little bit of text on the back of the door there. This time you will go with a plan. Roll for tactics. And the dice we got is the Christmas-themed D20. Ho, ho, ho. With snowflakes and antlers. So our 20 pip is a reindeer. Our 20 pip, come on, come into focus. There we go. Our 20 pip is the reindeer. So that's the first one, and we will put that in the dice tray. And size comparison wise, it is normal dice size. There you can see it next to that just plastic yellow D20. So we'll open up slot number 2. Now, when I did my Star Wars Lego Advent calendar once upon a time, way back when, I did in fact, I did in fact have a time, because there's weekends between now and Christmas. Roll it. Okay, TJ wants a roll. That makes perfect sense. Let's roll it. A 5. Okay, all right, not great. So we got a 5. Let's see if we can do a little bit better. Warm it up. Warm it up a little bit. And it came off cocked that time. So let's see. 16, much better. Much better on that second roll. But anyway, over the weekends, I would do the Advent stuff. And then on the Monday, I would just rush in and say, hey, here's the 3 Advents. I will do short videos. I will do short videos on the weekends before Christmas of punching out the Advent and showing you guys the dice. So there's our first one, a D20. 16 will do. It is early in Advent. So there we go. So thank you to, now, this was bought and paid for. So when I say thank you to the folks at Do Dragow Gaming, it is not. This was not gratis. This was not sponsored. This was purchased for me. But still, it's nice. It is a nice thing. You know, a lot of companies don't do, no pun intended, Christmas things, particularly tabletop gaming, but they did, and it is lovely, and we're gonna be sharing that. We're gonna be sharing that. So I have a little bit of Guinness. I'm gonna be enjoying that this evening. You guys don't want, get yourself something. You know where it's at. You should. It's in your houses. Ah, that's good. A little Bailey's in there would make it better. Maybe I can pick up a bottle this weekend. Yeah, get hammered on the show. Why not? Ricada does. Anyhow, so there's your Christmas Advent, and I'm really, really excited. So thank you to my darling wife again for that. So we will be sharing that more in the future. My camera's really jank. I must have bumped into it. Hang on a second, guys. That's not sitting with me. That's not sitting with me. Hang on. Having a black fly once the boys are in bed. Excellent. There's a 4-hour sale going on. Is that at the company that makes the dice? Anyway, hang on, guys. That is all wrong. Yeah, that's better. That's better. So there's a 4 hours that you guys can get yourselves some of these wonderful dice that they make. But anyway, speaking of Christmas things, I have mentioned this before. I'm going to spread the word far and wide on this. Some people wanted the Owl Bear Trio. Some people wanted the Warduke Trio. And I didn't get enough reservations on either to kick off a print run, because normally I do print runs of 10. Like 10 people want them. I print 10 of them. You get 10 of them. And I've been saying, well, you know, I'm not gonna do a print run and sell them if I don't get at least 10 orders. Here's the thing. I have some people who want the Warduke. I have some people who want the Owl Bear sets. And I will spread the word out to those who are interested. I will consider those open. I will initiate a print run for those who want Warduke minis and those who want Owl Bear minis, or those who want both, and we'll do that. And I will confirm with everyone who said they wanted it. So if you were sitting there going, oh, well, he's not going to do it, I'm going to spend that money elsewhere, I will message you. Don't worry. I'm not, a little crooked there. I will not come and stick you with a bill and say, you said you wanted these, pay up. So I'll make sure it's okay with you guys. But that's what we're doing. I'm kind of breaking with my 10 prints. TJ wants both. Okay, TJ, it is $45 for the Owl Bear Trio. It's $30 for the Warduke Trio. So that's, if you want both, that's $75. That's $75 for 6 minis. It's not bad, and 3 of the 6 minis are big chunky guys. You get owl bears like this big, you know. It's big, tall guy. And the owl bears are the Greyhawk Owl Bear from Supplement 1 Greyhawk. It's the Chinasaur Owl Bear, and it is the first edition Monster Manual Owl Bear. So you get 3 Warduke poses and 3 owl bears, and it's not a bad deal. It's not a bad deal. Owl Bear set is a perfect Christmas present. Thank you, TJ. Thank you. For you. Tell your friends. So yeah, I'm going to open those up to production. I will do my darndest to get them all out before Christmas. So if you're buying these for Christmas presents, let me know. I will prioritize, because I know how hard it is these days, okay? To this time, because we're 24 days. I mean, realistically, it's like 18 days. All right, so with that said, let us move on. Last night, we started talking, well, night before last, we started talking about Unearthed Arcana, which is a book that causes some controversy, some consternation, some consideration, some constipation about where perhaps first edition AD&D went off the rails, if you think it went off the rails. And a lot of people point to this juncture in Dungeons and Dragons history as being where the cart left the track. We're picking through the wreckage. We are looking at we are looking at the dang it, sorry. We are looking at Unearthed Arcana, and we're gonna find out exactly more of what exactly happened with it. Greetings, Mobius. Hello, hello. So let me just open that up and we'll get back to it here. I can't believe. There we go. Unearthed Arcana PDF. Okay. All right. We're back in where we need to be. All right. So preview. Share screen. Share screen. It's over there. Share. And just, all right, so here we go. We looked at the character race tables. Yes, it's race. It's not species. It's not phylum. It's not subspecies. It's race. We look at the race. And as we can see, we've now been hit with 3 new types of elves and 2 kinds of dwarves. 1 new kind of gnome, Tommy Dye says, when I started gaming back in 85, 86, you couldn't find a copy of the 1E rules, so I had to run 1E modules with the red box rules inside. Lol. That is quite a trip. See, that's the thing. All respect to the folks who play basic. My brother in Christ, basic D&D needs some spice in it, okay? Where's the devils? Where's the demons? Where's the pentagrams? Where's the spheres of annihilation? Where's the Vorpal swords? Where's the intelligence swords? You know, it just needs more. It's wholesome by itself, but you want something spicier. Brodo says he doesn't think that it went off the rails with UA. That is the considered opinion of a lot of folks. Now, this is very much like... there's something I want to address here regarding race class combos in Unearthed Arcana. I said the other night that Unearthed Arcana was bad because you could be a drow and a paladin according to Unearthed Arcana. Obviously, you can look at what's in black and white in front of your eyes, guys, and see, no, you can't. It was fairly tongue-in-cheek, but there is a bug in the Dungeon Master's Assistant Volume 2 Characters and Treasures that you can generate if you switch on Unearthed Arcana options and manually tweak input settings. You can generate a drow paladin through that. But it's not by the book, and any DM that you tried to massage the system to make it go that would, of course, throw it out. I'm not saying that per these you couldn't play a drow of just about any other class. But dark elves can be cavaliers. You see the issue. That's where the program trips up. So anyway, Character class names are shown in capital letters if the character class's major subclasses are shown with the first letter capitalized only. All of the racial varieties and strains for available player characters are listed alphabetically according to major type, and then alphabetically within each major type for sub-races thereof. An exception is made for halflings, where stout, skull, tall fellow, and hairfoot halflings are grouped under one heading because each strain of that race has the same class limitations. Although limitations are the same for all strains within the major races of dwarves and gnomes, each variety is listed separately to emphasize the fact that player characters can now be any one of those 5 subraces. So basically, they collapse halflings in on themselves because nothing's changed here. Nothing has changed here. Now we have class level limitations, and this has changed somewhat. And again, there is missing data here. All right, there's a whole table that I really wish Wizards of the Coast had done. Like, all right, we'll do art on the back and the correct chart on the front, but we'll put it in here and bump up all the page numbers. But they stuck it in where the separator page was between the players and dungeon masters section of the book. So we got to go all the way there if we want to. But one thing you're going to notice off the bat is ability scores and level raisings. Some abilities, particularly in this case strength, higher strengths do allow you higher levels in those classes. They don't impact clerics because, you can't have an 1899 wisdom, right? Or 1899 dex. So they're not implying that about dex and whatnot. And we have footnotes, like if you want to be an 11th level dwarf assassin, intelligence 18 and dexterity 19 also required. If you want to be a 12th level, intelligence 19 and dexterity also required. Find those Librams, find those iron stones, boys and girls. And then elves, of course, we have the dark and all the kinds there. Interestingly, now dig this. Of course, we know female drow can be unlimited clerics. But check this out. This was not open to elves in the player's handbook. Now, elves can be druids. And we kind of continue on. We got magic user. Magic user level limits have been bumped up because now we have stats going over 19. I say over 19 because it is possible to get those stats in basic bare bones AD&D. But yeah, a high elf with a 22 intelligence can be all the way up to 17th level. And you're talking Elrond levels there, not to be confused with Elron. And this happy fellow, this dude over there, he looks like Tom Schultz from was it Tom Schultz was in Boston, I think, yeah. But he's hanging out with his long bow. Half elves, rangers, magic users, thieves, assassins, the whole deal. Basically, you get level increases. So if you're an 1890 strength and you're a tall fellow halfling, you can now go up to 9th level fighter. Have you mentioned that your drow cavalier, good or evil? So let's look at the new new races. Now, if you've got Monster Manual 2 or modules that these appeared in, you probably know about these a little bit, but let's take a look at them here. So we're gonna zoom in because I know we have some folks there who kind of like to see that. Whoa, 300. I think we back that off to 200. So gray dwarves, also known as Duragar, are usually only found in the subterranean depths of the earth. While the majority of the members of this subrace are of lawful evil alignment with neutral tendencies, player characters who are gray dwarves may be of any alignment. Duragar are thinner than other dwarves, and their skin and hair color ranges from medium gray to dark gray, like it says on the tin. So you were evil. Were you like Charlie Manson evil, or were you like, just crafty evil? Only bad because you're drawn that way. Hello, Pan Souza. Good to see you. Just as their kindred, gray dwarves may be fighters, clerics, or thieves, and as thieves may also enter the assassin subclass or the acrobat split class. Gray dwarves may be multi-classed as fighter clerics, fighter thieves, or cleric assassins. Player character gray dwarves are non-magical in nature, just as their surface-dwelling cousins are, and as such gain the same bonuses to their saving throws versus magical attacks by rod, staff, wand, or spell. +1 for each 3.5 points of Constitution score. Gray dwarves are also unaffected by illusion spells and immune to all paralyzation attacks, and non-natural, i.e. magical or alchemical in origin, poisons. They receive a saving throw bonus versus natural poison, just as other dwarves do, of the same amount as their magical attack bonus. Gray dwarves speak the dwarvish language and in addition speak Undercommon. I think that is probably the first place that term appears ever anywhere in AD&D. A trade language of the empires and communities deep beneath the earth. They also speak their alignment language and a maximum of 2 other languages, regardless of intelligence. So if you're playing a gray dwarf and you have great plans of being able to walk with the animals, talk with the animals, fairly warned, be ye, says Gary. The walking maybe, the talking probably not. Duragar have an infravision 12-inch range. They also have the standard dwarvish abilities for detecting grade, slope, new construction, sliding walls, traps, and depth underground, and have the combat abilities of other dwarves in fighting creatures such as ogres, trolls, ogre magi, giants, and titans. They do not gain other dwarves' combat advantage when attacking half-orcs, goblins, hobgoblins, or orcs, since their background does not include a history of animosity against these creatures. Ooh, good to note. Gray dwarves move very quietly when they want to, able to surprise others on a 3 in 6 chance when alone or in the company of others of their race, and are themselves only surprised 1 time in 10. Now we're introducing different dice for surprise detection. It's no longer just a D6. You got a Duragar in the party, you got to break out a D10. Which, I mean, honestly, as off the rails as comeliness has gone, I kind of feel like this is it. Why not, right? Gray dwarves live most of their lives deep beneath the surface of the earth. They will not venture forth into the surface world except at night or on the gloomiest of overcast days. Daylight and spells such as continual light affect Duragar as follows. Their enhanced ability to gain surprise is negated. The character's dexterity is effectively reduced by 2 for the duration of the exposure, with all penalties to armor class, thieving abilities, etc. applicable. All their attacks are made at -2 to hit, and any opponent's saving throws versus Grey Dwarf attacks are made at +2. If the gray dwarf is located in darkness or deep shadow, but is attacking creatures illuminated by a light source, surprise ability and dexterity are normal, but the character's attacks are at -1 to hit, and opponent's saving throws versus any such attacks are at +1. The relatively dim light given off by such sources as torches, lanterns, magic weapons, light spells, and fairy fire does not adversely affect a gray dwarf. So we have some notes about gray elves and so on and etc., but we know most of that from the player's handbook. So let's zip over here and let's see what Gary's done to us. Now, I want to point something out briefly here. I want to jump into something real quick. Gary always planned for a second edition of Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. Part of his intent was to merge the Dungeon Master's Guide and monster books into a single volume. And he himself has said he probably would have dropped the Assassin and maybe even Evil Alignments. I know it's very popular to bash on second edition. I'm not a fan of second edition. I'm not a huge fan of 2E. But the reality is, guys, what we're getting a taste of here is kind of the beginnings of it. Now, let's role play a little bit, because that's what we do. Let's role play a little bit and let's say, well, what if, though? What if Gary had maintained control of TSR and published a second edition? Would we love second edition as much as first edition? Would we say still play first edition and say, Gary, you screwed up? I think the answer lies in how you feel about this book. I think the answer lies in how you feel about this book. Not second edition as it was published. That's not fair. Gary was gone. But if you look at this book and you say, look, I hate it going in and coming out, all of it is bad, I would never consider any of it, you may have hated Gary Gygax's second edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. So just a little food for thought, just something to keep in your noggin, something to keep the noggin jogging. All right. So wild elves, or Grugok, shun outsiders even more fervently than other elves and are xenophobic with regard to other elven races. They have standard elven characteristics of resistance to sleep and charm, bonuses to hit with bow and sword, infravision, moving silently, and detection of secret and concealed doors. Most of them speak the Elvish language exclusively, though a player character may know some of the common tongue as well. Wild elves are strong, receiving a +2 bonus to the die roll for strength up to a maximum of 18. Wild elves deal with other woodland creatures as if an animal friendship spell was in operation. Grugok can set pits, snares, and natural traps with a 90% chance of success. As shown on the character races table 1, Grugok are more limited than other elves in the classes they can practice. They can only be druids, fighters, or thieves, including assassin and acrobat, and can only be fighter thieves if multi-class. They are similar in appearance to wood elves, but are smaller, thinner, and very fair. Tommy says 2E was fine right up to 2.5 when they released skills and powers and all of the kit splat books. I only have the faintest knowledge of those, Tommy, but yeah, that seems to track. Valley elves, which, okay, look, Gary had been in California early in the 80s. He'd gotten, of course, Frank Zappa released the song Valley Girl. The movie Valley Girl came out. Val speak was a thing. I do wonder about this. Connect says, I've been in groups that allow players to choose all spells, magic items, and DM apply majority rules to adventures. It allows player favorites and flexibility to adapt to the best of all worlds. Yeah. That's not how I would do it, but sure. So Valley Elves. Valley Elves are thought to be an offshoot of the Grey Elves and have all powers and abilities of that subrace, plus the ability to speak the Gnomish language. Valley Elves are unusually tall, some of them growing to the height of humans. They are shunned by other elven subraces who do not consider them true elves. The name of Valley Elves is derived from the Valley of the Mage, where the subrace is headquartered in the world of Greyhawk fantasy game setting, but Valley Elves are equally at home in any similarly far-removed section of the world free of other elvish influences. So let's roll up our sleeves. Look, love or hate Drow, this is where we're at. Dark Elves, also known as Drow, or Dro, Paul, are the most divergent of the elven subraces. Their form is similar to that of other elves, but their skin color is the inky blackness of a moonless night, and their hair is normally pure white or silver. Let me pump the brakes right here. They're not black people. Okay? They're not. I'm just saying that here and now. And that's all I'm going to say. So people that get up in arms and say, oh no, now Drow are like light purple. No. You are literally having a moral panic over nothing. Let us move on. Classes open to Dark Elf players are Cleric, Fighter, including Ranger, Cavalier, Magic User, and Thief, including Thief, Acrobat, and Assassin. Males and females of this subrace differ in their maximum level attainable in Cleric, Fighter, and Magic User classes. Drow are generally evil and chaotic in nature, though player characters are not required to be so. That is correct. I always thought, let me tell you something. The introduction in 77 of Dark Elves as a mention in the Monster Manual, imagine you pick up that next module, like you played through, or you played G1 and you get G2 and you're like, oh my God. Oh, wow. You know, it's that, oh my gosh moment. That must have felt just so cool. So cool. It's a good observation. Elric was Drow-like. And I think mentally, the disposition of the Drow is a lot like the Meldebonans. A Dark Elf player character is considered an outcast from his or her homeland deep within the earth, whether by matter of choice, alignment, or merely being on the losing side of some family-wide power struggle. As such, Drow characters do not have immediate access to the weaponry, armor, cloaks, and poisons that are normally found in the possession of non-player characters of this sub-race. The 50% magic resistance possessed by NPC Dark Elves is likewise not a property of player characters who have abandoned their homeland. It is likely that this power is the result of extended dabbling in the dark arts as well as the effects of their environment. Once having made the decision to embark upon an adventuring career, a Drow player character can never regain this magic resistance, short of the use of wish spells or similar magics, but can still rise in power and dominate fellow Dark Elves. Outcast Dark Elves do retain the customary elven resistance to charm and sleep, and they receive a bonus of +2 to all saving throws versus magical effects. Dark Elves do not gain the combat bonuses of Surface Elves with regard to sword and bow, but may fight with 2 weapons without penalty. And that gave us Drizzt. provided each weapon may be easily wielded in one hand. They cannot use a shield when performing this type of combat, but may use a spiked buckler as one of their 2 weapons. Drow can speak Common Tongue, the language of Undercommon, a trade language of those who dwell beneath the earth, plus the Elven Gnomish languages, as well as other languages up to the limit prescribed by intelligence score. In addition, all Dark Elves speak the silent tongue of subterranean dwellers, a language of complex hand signals and gestures, combined with facial expressions and body languages. The range of communication in this silent tongue is only 30 feet, but it is as informative as any other language within that range. Only the Drow may fully master this tongue, though other races may be taught its basic signs and symbols. Dark Elves have infravision out to a 12-inch range. The base movement rate of female Drow is 15, while that of a male is 12. Drow have the abilities to detect a secret and concealed doors just as other elves can, probably dwarves too. And they can also detect new construction, stonework traps, sliding walls, and depth underground, as do dwarves. Dark Elves can move silently in the same manner as other elves under the same conditions and are surprised only on a 1 in 8 chance. Again, we got to reach for different dice for a surprise for these dudes. All Dark Elves have the innate ability to use the following magic spells once per day: Dancing Lights, Fairy Fire, and Darkness 5-foot radius. Upon attaining 4th level in any class, they gain the ability to cast Detect Magic, Know Alignment, and Levitate, also once per day. Females of 4th level or higher can also use Clairvoyance, Detect Lie, or its reverse, Suggestion, and Dispel Magic, each once per day. Ability scores for Drow characters may be generated by either normal means or by the method described on page 34 of the Fiend Folio tome at the option of the DM. If the latter method is used, the adjustments for the initial die rolls for elves given in the penalties and bonuses section, Player's Handbook, page 14, do not apply. So if you're cracking open the Fiend Folio to generate your Drow player character, you got to note that. Drow are affected by light in the same manner as our gray dwarves. See above. They will prefer to travel either at night or in gloomy, overcast conditions when they venture out onto the surface world. Deep gnomes, also known as the Sphere Neblin, are members of a breed of gnome that lives deep beneath the surface of the earth. They can be of any class combination or combination of classes that is permitted to surface-dwelling gnomes. Deep gnomes who are not illusionists gain special abilities at high levels. Deep gnomes are more muscular than their above-ground cousins. Their gnarled skin ranging from medium brown to grayish-brown in color. They have gray eyes. Deep gnomes have the standard gnomish abilities with regard to detection of slopes and unsafe walls and determining depth and direction underground. In addition, they have a 60% chance of being able to camouflage themselves against surrounding natural rock deep underground, remaining effectively invisible until they move, attack, or take some other action, which negates invisibility. Player character Deep gnomes must be male, since no females of this subrace have ever been known to take up adventuring careers. Sound the alarm, boys. It looks like mean old Gary Gygax is laying down the law. Oh, we have some comments here. Damien says, I think you're referring to their skin coloration. I thought it was because they betrayed their old god and began worshiping his demonic ex-wife. That, yeah, some of the Drow legends have that. So is Witcher to some degree, yes, because Witcher is a copy of Elric of Melnibone. Viking Hat's quoting Bernard Hill. Bernard Hill not happy with Rings of Power. It's a money-making venture, and I'm not interested in watching that or being in it. Good luck to them and all that stuff, but it's not like the real thing. Bam! Shots fired! Bernard Hill, Theoden in the Lord of the Rings films, not loving it at all. Shots fired. Thank you, Bernard. Thank you. You know, it's funny. When they announced this claptrap, this Rings of Power garbage, this Tumblr tier fan fiction put together by a bunch of hacks, I used to see so many glowing posts about the production posted about from Variety magazine. I'd see it on Twitter. I'd see it on Facebook. I'd see it just out in social media. People say, they're saying it's going to be pretty good, Bill. I posted the link to Hill's interview on Facebook, and somebody immediately came in and said, "Oh, this is just tawdry. This is tabloid garbage from." Apparently, they named the media publishing company, and I guess they don't like it. If Hill had given a glowing review of it and said, "Oh, I can't wait. I hope they invite me to be on the show. Maybe like young Theoden or Flash Forward or something, maybe." Would you have been as pejorative about the publishing company? I don't think you would have. Anyway, back to Drow. Tommy says, I would have had them lose the skin coloration along with MR if they were away from their home too long, just to make it less desirable, make it a less desirable to play character. What, like make them like gray or purple like they do now? Asking. The Firstborn or Black Martians from the Barsoom novels are essentially Drow. They're an underground warrior society ruled by a queen. Yeah. All the people who had problem with Drow apparently didn't have problems with them being matriarchal society. Severe Fniblin, someone called Gargamel. I got that reference. A deep known character sells Tabasco sauce to the main character in 3 Hearts and 3 Lions. Nice. Luke Goss from Hellboy 2 is the best portrayal of Elric. Fair enough. Those movies had weird casts, like unexpected casts, Like you go and you look at what the majority of the cast is doing, and Ron Perlman, of course, and I'm blanking on his name, the guy that played his dad. But everybody else just kind of, different stuff. Less. Anyway, all right. So, Deep Gnomes speak their own tongue, which is related to the Gnomish tongue spoken by surface dwellers of the race. They can know other languages depending on intelligence, with emphasis on tongue spoken beneath the earth. Player character Deep Gnomes cannot converse with creatures from the elemental plane of Earth unless the character has such a language as one of the tongues that he or she has specifically learned, and player characters are just as likely to be attacked by creatures from the plane of Earth as are members of any other race. Hey, Tonka, how you doing? Humans are the dominant race in the AD&D game universe, and let's keep it that way, okay? So I think we're... so we've got some more Deep Gnome. When they become a player character, they forfeit some of the benefits that derives from close association with the elemental plane of Earth, as described above. However, Deep Gnomes who are not illusionists do retain the innate ability of Severe Fniblin to summon an Earth elemental once per day. That's powerful. That is freaking powerful. When a non-illusionist reaches 6th level in any class, he or she can perform this feat in a fashion similar to the magic user spell Conjure Elemental. The type of creature summoned, if any, is determined by rolling d20. Let me tell you something, you clever dicks at Wizards of the Coast who think you fucking invented feats. Gary beat you to the punch. Gary beat you to the punch by 20 years. And you can love it or hate it, boys and girls, but it's right here. They just stuck neat names on it and then broke their arms, patting themselves on the back in congratulatory hug puddles that they had fixed old Dungeons and Dragons. I'm actually okay with that, Damien. Because come on, who doesn't like delete? Yes, the Christmas lights are bothering the horse. He said he's going to get you for that, Tonka. He said it's your fault. I didn't do anything to dissuade him. My goodness, my goodness. Greetings, Chris. Good to see you, my friend. Svirfneblin. Oh, I'm sorry. I almost forgot. Player character Deep Gnomes may use the following spell-like abilities once per day: Blindness, Blur, and Change Self as if cast by an illusionist of the same level as the character's highest level. A Deep Gnome also radiates non-detection as a spell, though this applies only to the individual alone and not an area. Svirfneblin have infravision out to a range of 12 inches, but ultravision of only a 3-inch range. In bright light, their vision of all sorts is reduced to 3 inches, and they must take a penalty of -1 to hit when fighting opponents in such eliminated conditions. Player character Deep Gnomes can be surprised only on a 1 in 12 chance, again with a weird surprise dice, and can surprise others on a 9 in 10 chance. So no, you can't just say, okay, I've got a Deep Gnome, I'll use a D12 for his surprise. No, you got to have a D12 and a D10. If they are alone or in the company of other Deep Gnomes and not wearing bulky armor, player character Deep Gnomes do not have psionic abilities. In melee combat, Deep Gnomes gain a +1 to hit and damage when attacking Drow and Kutoa, which are their enemies of their race, just as goblins and kobolds are the enemies of surface gnomes. The Deep Gnomes gain the same benefits as surface gnomes when attacked by giants, bugbears, ogre magi, trolls, ogres, or titans. But titans are chaotic good. I can't see them wanting to kill ostensibly good gnomes. And then we have half-elves. But this is interesting because now we've introduced wood, gray, and valley. Or I'm sorry, Grugak, Drow, and Valley. Those descended from Grey Wood and Valley Elves have similar abilities because wild elves do not trust humans any farther than they can toss them. Oh, yeah, that's good. No instances of known half-elves have descended from Grugak's stock. Half-elves of Drow descent retain their elf parents' disadvantages with regard to light, but have none of the special advantages of full-blooded Drow and are looked upon as outcasts by the dark elf population. But come on, if you're up there as a player character, you're already an outcast, okay? That's just how that is. Halflings. The 3 subclasses of halflings are on page 17 of the player's handbook, and differences are noted there. Half-orcs likewise. Humans are the dominant race in the AD&D universe, having no limits on what classes they can practice or how high a level one can attain. Note that human player characters and only humans may be created using a special character generation method. It's a special tool we'll use for later, presented in this book, which allows a player to select the character's class before any of his or her ability scores are determined. And then we have the racial preferences table, which just kind of goes bonkers because there's so many kinds. You got to cross like, okay, does the drow like the Sphere of Neblin? Well, we don't know. What is their alignment? Or is there a half orc standing next to him? Is it Tuesday? You kind of gotta roll with that sort of thing, and you gotta sort it out. You gotta figure out what's to do. And then that's more or less like it is in the player's handbook. So that is where we will pause the deep diving. Tomorrow night we'll be back. We're on page 13 of 130. We got a way to go. We got some distance to go here, but it's all good because I know you guys love me. I know you love me. So that will be back tomorrow night. We will dive more into that. I'm going to catch up with your super chats. Oh, wait, you haven't done any. Sorry. I'm going to catch up with your chats here. Let's see. You like feats in 3rd edition, just wish WotC hadn't stuck all the combat maneuvers in the feat section. Sphere of Neblin have some of the best art. I love that Sphere of Neblin in the Fiend Folio. I love that thing. The artwork reminds me of Jeff Laubenstein, which if go look at Battletech's Jeff Laubenstein's artwork in Battletech. Fantastic stuff. That reminds me very much of that. I'm glad, Tonka. I'm glad we're making you feel better, and I'm sorry you were feeling bad. So, let's see. 3 and 3.5 was a bit too crunchy. It was a lot crunchy. It was a lot. Look, 3 and 3.5 are just Ars Magica welded to the stat system and classes of Dungeons and Dragons. You were so enraptured. Oh, that's nice. I can't sing like Debbie Harry, but if you want to put Rapture on and play it, love that woman's voice. Oh my gosh. Let me tell you something. If you've never seen Rock and Roll, it is a fun animated movie along the lines of Heavy Metal or Fire and Ice or American Pop, but a post-nuclear war American Pop or Wizards. It is all very much in those. Animated feature from Nelvana back in the 80s. Debbie Harry provided her voice on the soundtrack. Most of the soundtrack to the film is lost as isolated music tracks. However, maybe Just for Sure is a reworking of the character Angel's track Let Love Through. So I do recommend going listening to that if you're a fan of Debbie Harry, because she's an extraordinary singer, and she is beautiful. So anyway, where were we? Oh yes. So tomorrow night we will be back and we will talk about more. Unearthed Arcana. All right, we're gonna get through this. We're gonna start looking at classes and races soon. I don't know exactly when we're gonna hit those, or not classes and races, but classes and class abilities soon. We're gonna delve into the Cavalier and why I don't like it. We're gonna delve into the Thief Acrobat and why I do like it, and the various class abilities. It's gonna be awesome. So now is the time on the show. First of all, if this is your first time stopping by, if you come here from Facebook or YouTube sent you, or from Twitter, please click the like and click the subscribe button, click the like button on the video, click the bell icon for notification. You know what I would like to have for Christmas from you, my viewers? Not that you guys haven't given me a ton already. I'd like 5 more subs to get and to stay and to get over 1,400. It doesn't give me anything extra. I don't get 2 cents more from Susan at YouTube. I would just like to have 1,400 subs on my channel for Christmas. Can you guys help me out with that? Can you guys go out there and get me those extra subs? Tell your friends. Tell them I do cool stuff, and I make rare miniatures available to purchase. So please, if you're feeling it in your hearts, if you could do that for me, I would love to see the channel subs hit 1,400 and beyond. We've been stagnant between 1,380 and 1,395 for what seems like going all the way back into the summer. Brodo, your fellow metalheads who gave you shit for being a Blondie fan are no friends. Okay? That's what I say. Gamma World on Friday. So tomorrow night, we'll be back with more of this. And then at 9 o'clock, Gamma World. We will be playing some Gamma World, and it's going to be tons of fun. But listen, I asked for a lot from you guys. I asked for your subscriptions. I asked for your likes. I asked for your comments below the video. And indeed, you can see there's the ticker going by. You can support us on Subscribestar. You can support us via PayPal Direct. You can support us buymeacoffee.com/bsylvie. And of course, you can support us on Patreon if that's what you want to do. But let me just say this about that. There are some awesome folks who do support the show in those ways. And now is the time when I take a minute to thank those wonderful folks. So let me just take a moment and say thank you from the bottom of my heart, because it really helps, guys. It helps keeps the show going. I love it to pieces. Thank you for Joshua Garlock, Lord Corion, Ricky Maru, Mobius, Kevin Reynolds, Doomsword Deathmaster, Mark Simpson, Damien247, James F. Keck, William Smith, The Dungeon Minister, Manny Wall, Mark Corey, Kevin Wood, Todd Sharp, Carnivore Farmer, Rob, Jeremy Roll, Bo Ganora, Mikey Mank, Sky Hernstrom, Pete Sullivan, the DM's Council, and Baron Von Headbanger. Thank you all so very much for contributing on a day-to-day basis. And again, if you want to support us in that way, there we are on Patreon, there we are on Subscribestar, and of course you can PayPal Direct, or you can buy me a coffee. And Bo Ganora bought me a coffee this week. Bo Ganora bought me like a double strength, extra skinny, tall latte with whipped cream and chocolate and caramel and sugar on top. It's more dessert than drink. So Bo Ganora, thank you very much for buying me coffee today. I greatly appreciate it. It is absolutely awesome. And I love you for it, brother. Thank you. So we'll be back tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, and we will open another, if you missed it tonight, we got a D20 in the Advent calendar, and we'll open up day 2. It'll be day 2, Christmas Advent. Days 3 and 4, of course, are Saturday, Sunday. But Bill, you don't have a live show on Saturday, Sunday. Will you just do it on the show Monday? No, I will do a short video, and I will show you guys on Saturday what day 3 is, and on Sunday what day 4 is. So you guys have an absolutely stellar evening. Those of you who want prints of owl bears or of Warduke, I will be reaching out to you. So y'all take it easy. Listen, I love you all. Whether I have 14, 140, or 1,400 viewers, I really love you guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sticking around. And I'll see you tomorrow night. Peace.